Hey there, beautiful souls. If you're watching this, chances are you've heard your child say something for the first time in a while. And instead of feeling joy, you felt confusion or maybe even worry. Maybe your little one keeps repeating the same phrase over and over, and you're wondering, is this normal? Is something wrong? Today, I want to talk to you about echolalia, something many of us as parents of autistic children have encountered. And honestly, when we first noticed it in our son, we had no idea what to think. But here's the truth. Understanding echolalia can open up a whole new world of communication for you and your child. So let's dive in together because you are not alone in this journey. I know how overwhelming it can feel when your child does something that seems different, something that other kids their age aren't doing. You might have searched online, asked doctors, talked to other parents, and still felt like you didn't have all the answers. Maybe you felt embarrassed when your child suddenly shouted something in the grocery store or repeated a line from a cartoon for the 20th time that day. Let me tell you something important today. What your child is doing is not broken. It's not wrong. It's their brain finding its own way to communicate, to process the world around them, and to feel safe. Echolalia is actually one of the most common forms of communication in autistic children, and research shows it's a natural step in language development. It's not something to fight or suppress. Instead, it's something to understand, to work with, and eventually to build upon. So, if you've been feeling lost or alone, I want you to know right now that millions of parents have been exactly where you are. And today, we're going to change that feeling of confusion into feeling of empowerment, because once you understand why echolalia happens, you can actually use it to help your child find their voice. And if this resonates with you, if you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe to our channel. We're neuroparenting, and we share our journey to help parents like you feel supported and never alone. Hit that subscribe button, and let's keep this conversation going. What exactly is echolalia? Okay, let's get into what echolalia actually is. Echolalia is when your child repeats words, phrases, sounds, or sentences that they've heard from other people, from TV, from books, from you, or from their environment. It can be immediate, where they repeat something right after they hear it, or delayed, where they repeat something they heard hours, days, or even weeks earlier. For example, our son once repeated an entire scene from his favorite show, word for word, every single day for 3 months. At first, we thought he was just being stubborn or ignoring us when we asked him questions. But then, we realized he was actually trying to tell us something, just in his own unique way. Echolalia falls into two main categories: functional and non-functional. Functional echolalia is when your child uses repeated phrases to actually communicate something. It might sound like they're just echoing you, but they're actually using that phrase to express a need, a want, or an emotion. Non-functional echolalia is more like self-stimming, a way for your child to regulate their sensory system or feel calm. Both are completely normal, and both are your child's brain doing exactly what it's supposed to do, finding ways to make sense of the world. Why does it happen? Now, here's the part that many parents struggle with. Why does echolalia happen in the first place? The answer lies in how your child's brain processes language. In neurotypical development, children typically learn to string together their own original sentences by absorbing language and then synthesizing it into their own words. But in autistic children, the brain often takes a different pathway. Instead of synthesizing language, the brain stores phrases and sentences as complete chunks or gestalts. These are called Gestalt language learners. Your child's brain is basically saying, hey, this phrase works in this situation, so I'll use it again. Think of it like a highlight reel. Your child's brain is pulling out the most memorable, most useful, or most soothing phrases and using them as shortcuts. It's not that they can't form their own sentences. It's that their brain is taking the most efficient route to communication, even if it doesn't look the way we expect. Another reason echolalia happens is because of processing differences. Your child might need extra time to process what you said, so instead of responding with their own words, they echo back what they heard while their brain finishes processing. It's like their brain is buying itself time. And sometimes, echolalia is simply a way to regulate emotions. Repetitive speech can be calming, soothing, and predictability is everything when the world feels overwhelming. Our story, what we noticed and what we did. Let me share our personal experience. When our son was around 4 years old, we started noticing echolalia in its fullest form. He would repeat entire episodes of his favorite show, including the commercial parts. He would repeat everything we said, but not as a conversation. If we asked, "Do you want water?" he would say, "Do you want water?" back to us, and then either point to his cup or just walk away. At first, we thought he was being defiant, like he was purposely not answering us. We tried everything, asking differently, using visual cues, getting frustrated. Nothing worked, and honestly, we felt lost. Then we had a breakthrough. We started paying attention to when he echoed and what he echoed. We realized that when he echoed a question back, he was actually trying to answer it just in the only way his brain knew how at that moment. When he said, "Stop, don't touch that." From a cartoon, it usually meant someone was too close to him and he needed space. When he said, "I'll be back," it meant he was overwhelmed and needed to retreat to his safe space. We started treating his echolalia as communication instead of a behavior to fix. And everything changed. We started saying, "Oh, you need space? Okay, I'll give you space." And he would look at us with this look of recognition like, "Yes, that's exactly what I meant." That's when we realized echolalia wasn't the problem. The problem was that we hadn't cracked the code yet. Once we cracked it, we could finally connect with our son on a deeper level. 5 practical tips to help you and your child. Now, I want to give you 5 practical tips that helped us and that we know will help you too. These aren't quick fixes, but tools you can use every day to build bridges with your child. First, become a detective. Start tracking when, where, and under what circumstances your child uses echolalia. Keep a little journal, or even just notes on your phone. You'll start to see patterns. Is it when they're tired, when there's a lot of noise, when they're asked a direct question? Patterns will help you decode what they're trying to say. When we started tracking, we discovered our son's echolalia peaked during transitions and when he was overstimulated. That insight changed everything. Second, reflect and clarify instead of correcting. When your child echoes something, don't say, "Stop saying that," or use your own words. Instead, try reflecting back what they might mean. If your child echoes "time for bed" when it's actually bedtime, say, "Yes, it's time for bed. Good job telling me." If they echo something that seems random, try guessing. "It sounds like you're feeling frustrated. Is that right?" This teaches them that their voice matters and that you understand them, even when their words don't look like typical speech. Third, create a phrase bank together. Work with your child's speech therapist to build a collection of useful phrases they can use for common needs. For example, Create a visual board with phrases like, I need a break, I want water, I'm scared, or I need help. Encourage your child to use these phrases instead of relying solely on echolalia. Make it fun and rewarding. When our son started using his phrase bank, we celebrated every single time, and his face lit up with pride. It was like watching a light turn on inside him. Fourth, model original language. One of the most powerful things you can do is simply talk to your child in simple, clear, and varied language. Don't overcomplicate things. Use short sentences. Pause to give them time to process. Narrate what you're doing throughout the day. I'm cooking dinner. I'm stirring the soup. It smells good. This gives your child a rich bank of language to eventually draw from. And be patient. It might take months or even years, but keep modeling. Your consistency will pay off. Fifth, embrace and celebrate the progress. This is the most important tip I can give you. Your child is trying so hard to communicate in a world that doesn't always speak their language. When they use echolalia in a functional way, acknowledge it. When they start using original words, celebrate it. When they make progress, no matter how small, recognize it. Our son now uses a mix of echolalia and original language, and honestly, it's beautiful. He has his own voice, and we're so proud of how far he's come. Every single word is a victory, a final word. Echolalia is not the enemy. It's actually a doorway into your child's world. It's their brain's way of saying, I'm here, I'm trying, and I'm communicating with you in the best way I can right now. Your job isn't to fix it. Your job is to understand it, to meet them where they are, and to help them build from there. It's a journey, and it's not always easy. Some days will be hard. Some days you'll feel frustrated. That's okay. You're human, and you're doing the best you can. But I promise you this, your child feels your love, your effort, and your dedication. Every single moment you spend trying to understand them is a moment that matters. You are not alone. There are millions of parents walking this same path, and we're all here to support you. Keep going, keep loving, keep fighting. And remember, your child's voice matters, even if it sounds different than you expected. And in time, you'll hear it more and more in their own beautiful way. If this video helped you, if you felt seen and understood today, please subscribe to our channel. We're Neuroparenting, and we share videos like this to remind you that you're an amazing parent and you're doing enough. Hit subscribe and join our community of parents supporting each other. Let's grow together.